Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. GECOM urges political parties to wait on final declaration. Some parties already claiming victory. CARICOM observers warn about voters' list and access issues, but praises GECOM'S new transparency measures. JAGDEO appears concerned at late-night press conference, pivoted, blaming main opposition for poor voter turnout. And Patterson bemoans the fact that new DEMERARA River Bridge has missed another completion deadline. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm ALETHEA Grant with the Tuesday, 2nd September 2025 edition of the HGP Nightly News. This is what you should know this evening. There still has been no final declaration from the Guyana Elections Commission, but at least two political parties are claiming victory. GECOM urges them to wait on the final declaration. Here is more.
Even though some political parties have already claimed and announced victory at the 2025 polls, the Guyana Elections Commission has reminded that it is the only constitutional authority that can pronounce on election results. Public Relations Officer at the Guyana Elections Commission, Yolanda Ward, reminded the nation of this fact at the close of poll on Monday.
We have issued several appeals in relation to this matter. And again, for us at GECOM, I want to remind persons that GECOM is the only authority to release the election results.
The elections body has urged political parties, organizations, interest groups, and other individuals to desist from pronouncing publicly on the results of the elections.
If you've noticed, we've even stayed away from preliminary results. And so I want to urge persons, and as you've mentioned, political parties, to desist from doing that.
It did say that results of Monday's general and regional elections could be declared on September 4.
We want to ask persons in particular to rely on the tool that is legally provided for by way of GECOM'S website to ensure that they follow from that tool, and so that they're not misguided by what is published out there.
It has been confirmed that general and regional elections on Monday were marred by a low voter turnout.
So it is important for persons, particularly the electorate as a whole, to be only guided by what GECOM publishes in relation to any kind of results from these elections.
Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
CARICOM election observers have raised concerns about the reliability of Guyana's voters list and the accessibility of some polling stations, even as they praised the Guyana Elections Commission for introducing major transparency reforms in the 2025 general and regional elections. Here is more.
At a press conference on Tuesday, Chief of Missions Josephine Tamai, who also serves as Belize's Chief Elections Officer, said the observation team found that the names of the deceased persons were still on the list, despite earlier efforts to have them removed. She warned that this raises questions about the list's accuracy and suggested that Guyana may need to consider a full re-registration exercise or intensify work to eliminate ineligible names. Tamai also noted that several polling stations were located on upper floors, making it difficult for elderly and persons living with disabilities to access their right to cast a ballot with ease.
COM also observed that some polling stations were not located on the ground floor. This presented a challenge for elderly and disabled voters. which is an important consideration for future planning.
Despite these concerns, the Caribbean Community Election Observer Mission commended GECOM for its new rules requiring electronic transmission and public display of statements of poll.
The COM commends GECOM on the legal amendments made to enhance the integrity of the tabulation process, particularly the provision for electronic transmission and the public display of statement of polls for verification.
As results continue to be tabulated, Tamai urged Guyanese to remain calm and patient, stressing that the will of the people must be respected. The Observer Mission will present its final report with detailed findings and recommendation to the CARICOM Secretariat General in the coming weeks. Javon Vickery, HGP Nightly News.
A Partnership for National Unity's presidential candidate Aubrey Norton is optimistic that his party still sees a clear route to victory in Guyana's general and regional elections, contingent on the results of Region 4. Antonio Day has that story.
In a video released by the Partnership for National Unity, the party's presidential candidate, Aubrey Norton, thanked supporters for their patience and urged them to keep their faith as tabulation continues. Norton admitted that due to voters' apathy, Monday's election did not witness an overwhelming turnout by his support base.
I believe we fought a good fight. I believe that our supporters didn't turn out in the way we expected.
Recognizing that the We Invest in Nationhood has made inroads in Linden, Region 10, which has long been a stronghold for his party, Mr. Norton said that his party can still win in Region 4, given its current trajectory.
We do see a path to victory once we can maintain the present trend in Region 4, though we suffer losses in Region 10. I should also point out that we have improved on the East Coast, Georgetown, and we have improved in the quarantine.
With the statements of poll already in his party's possession, Norton said that those documents should be available soon. Norton, in his consoling message to Apton supporters, urged them not to be carried away by detractors on social media, but be solely dependent on the Guyana Elections Commission for the publication of the official results. The seasoned politician, in a video statement, assured supporters that he will be paying keen attention to the electoral process and ensuring that there are no irregularities.
Let us wait on the official declaration. We will stay on top of it to ensure that there are no irregularities. Once again, thank you. We enjoy your loyalty. We're thankful for it. And we will analyze the situation and strategize on how we move forward.
Insert Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
More news after this break. Stay with us.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality.
Mom, did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC?
No, wait a minute. Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You with the HGP Nightly News. The General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Civic, JAGDEO, has blamed the main opposition for the poor turnout at Monday's polls. Hours after polls closed on election day, JAGDEO engaged selected media houses where he attempted to lambaste the opposition. Marvin Cato reports.
From the party's perspective, we had a good day. And I think the country had a good day. The formal process of voting went smoothly.
That was the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Civic, PPPC, JAGDEO, engaging selected media houses mere hours after polls closed on Monday, September 1st. JAGDEO estimated that there were a few missed steps that could have been avoided, but they were quickly remedied.
There was nothing fatal about the process, and it went peacefully.
In what could be considered a not so vibrant outward appearance, the General Secretary appeared worried as he discussed his party's chances at winning the polls.
You saw many of the polling places didn't have any crowds. As we got closer to the evening, people could have gone there and freely voted, in spite of the concerns.
The country's sitting vice president, however, did not confront the possible reasons for the large shift in votes away from the party's traditional strongholds to the newly formed We Invest in Nationhood Win Party. Instead of focusing on those analyses, he pivoted and blamed the opposition for the poor voter turnout.
APNU will have a very difficult night. They will have a very, very difficult night. I think many may not wanted openly to support the BBP, but they were not going to risk a change in government because there was no good alternative to the BBP. And others may just, have opted out of the process.
From preliminary reporting, voter turnout was abysmal. Polling stations with approximately 300 plus registered voters in uploaded statements of polls on the Guyana Elections website showed just over 100 electors actually voting at that polling station.
There is a lower voter turnout than in 2020, but it's worse in some areas, and like the city.
This is Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
While thousands of Guyanese exercised their franchise in Monday's general and regional elections, voters living with disabilities encountered challenges that underscore the need for greater accessibility at polling stations. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
With thousands of Guyanese cast their votes on Monday, some voters living with disabilities were left in limbo on election day, as confusion at several polling stations highlighted weakness in how they are accommodated by the electoral system. During a press conference on Monday evening after the close of polls, Guyana Elections Commission GECOM Public Relations Officer Yolanda Ward acknowledged that while training was provided to polling staff, it was not always followed. She stressed that GECOM has continuously been engaging the National Commission on Persons with Disabilities and continues to receive recommendations in that regard.
A lot of what may be required needs legislation. And outside of that, we may not be able to implement some of those recommendations.
She added that some measures to fully support voters with disabilities cannot be implemented without changes in legislation.
It's quite unfortunate that the training that our staff were given was probably not adhered to at those specific polling stations.
She, however, pointed out that she also witnessed presiding officers properly facilitating persons with disabilities at some locations. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Would Donald Trump's proposal to increase oil production and lower prices significantly impact the investments made by ExxonMobil Limited locally? Let's find out more.
President of the United States Donald Trump earlier this year stated that under his administration, oil conglomerates are required to boost oil production while simultaneously reducing energy prices to alleviate the impact of inflation. The lingering question that remains is, will American-based companies like ExxonMobil, with operations here, be able to compete effectively in the oil market against this background? Alistair Routledge, president of ExxonMobil Guyana Limited, during a press conference back in February of this year said that with over 34 years in the oil and gas industry, it is normal for oil prices to fluctuate. He explained that to find out the total cost of a project, one must look at both the capital cost for building it and the operating cost for running it over its lifetime. This information, according to Routledge, can help you calculate the cost per barrel of production or per million cubic feet of production per day.
We believe the cost of supply in Guyana is somewhere around $35 per barrel or less. That's what we've been striving to do. So as long as oil prices stay above 35, Guyana's business is incredibly robust.
According to the ExxonMobil head, there have been very few occasions when prices have dropped below $35, and even in those cases, the Guyana business model has proven to be resilient.
It's a cash business at that point. When you see these really deep depressions in commodity price.
This favorable metric means that the company can keep its prices competitive for a longer time while managing daily operations.
We're a price taker, and as such, what is most important to us is that we ensure that our business is competitive throughout those cycles.
On September 1, 2025, Reuters reported that the global benchmark Brent crude oil settled 1% higher at close of market. This increase was driven by growing concerns that escalating airstrikes in Russia and Ukraine could cause supply disruptions, along with support from a weaker dollar. Brent crude futures increased by 67 cents or 1%, closing at $68.15 a barrel. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
More news after this break. Stay with us.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Civon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Civon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Mom, did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC?
No, wait a minute. Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Whatever your dream is, Republic Bank can help you make it happen. Make it happen. Let's help you get there with a Make It Happen loan.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
HGP Nightly News as we continue. Former Minister of Public Works David Patterson laments the fact that the new Demerara River Bridge continues to miss completion deadlines, even as Minister Edgell promises August 31st as the last completion date. Marvin Cato reports.
The initial date for this project was supposed to be the 31st. This project was signed in May 2022. With a 2-year period, so that should have been 2024 completion.
That was former Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson, who indicated that the government boasted about the completion and commissioning of the new Demerara River Bridge by the 31st of August, but that has not yet been a reality.
It had several deadlines, several really flimsy excuses. The drop-dead date, that's the date they like to use. The drop-dead date where everybody will cease existing is the 31st of August.
That date has shifted to early September, but according to Patterson, September is not a definitive date, and the signs of the clearance of the temporary structure are still not visible.
I've said from initially, since they announced the drop-dead date, that we have a lot of dead people around. At the time, I didn't realize we'd have a dead political party, but that's the fact.
The former minister, in his surmising, ensured to emphasize that there is still lots of work to be completed before the much-touted project is realized.
Still a lot, tremendous amount of work to be finished to make that bridge safe and operable for the public. The safety features still have to be installed, the signage. You still have to load test it.
This is Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
This September, Guyana proudly observes Amerindian Heritage Month under the theme Igniting Unity, Celebrating Progress, Advancing Our Culture. The Ministry of Amerindian Affairs planned a calendar of activities in celebration of our indigenous peoples who will be showcasing their talent and culture. Jada June reports.
The Ministry of Amerindian Affairs has unveiled a month-long calendar of events for Amerindian Heritage Month 2025, promising a rich blend of culture and history. The festivities began on September 1st with the launch of a special feature chronicling past celebrations and a poem competition, both hosted online to engage audience in Guyana. On September 2nd and 3rd, preservations of traditional knowledge will take center stage with demonstrations of cassava bread and fly or potato winemaking, stemmed on social media to highlight age-old culinary traditions. The calendar continues with major cultural events, including the Amerindian Interfaith Service on September 4th at the Guyana and a cultural extravaganza at the National Park on September 5th, followed by a week-long Amerindian Craft and Cuisine Fair at the Amerindian Village in Sophia, which will run daily from September 6th to 11th. Evening cultural nights will accompany the fair, offering performances, storytelling, and traditional dances. The celebration will also feature fitness and awareness events, including an Amerindian fitness walk on September 7th from the Guyana to the National Park, and historical reflections such as special showcase on the life and work of Stephen Campbell on the 10th of September, honoring Guyana's first Indigenous parliamentarian. A highlight of the month is the opening of the Hearts exhibition, an Indigenous fashion showcase on September 12th at the National Gallery of Art, followed by the highly anticipated Heritage Safari on September 13th, which will take participants on a journey from Georgetown to Marika Bay and Great Falls. Later activities include the Amerindian Heritage Village Day in Napi, Region 9, and the launch of an animated series promoting Indigenous languages. Educational lectures will be hosted at several schools to raise awareness about the Amerindian heritage and tradition. The month closes with the Heritage Sports from September 24th to 28th at Everest Ground, Georgetown, and Amerindian Got Talent on September 30th on social media showcasing Indigenous creativity and talent. Jada June reporting for HGP Nightly News.
A significant step has been taken to improve learning facilities for children on the east coast of Demerara as construction is set to begin on a brand new primary school in Buxton. Here again is Jada June.
Staff of the Company Road Primary School, alongside officials from the Ministry of Education, turned the sod for the $440 million reconstruction of the institution at Buxton on the east coast of Demerara. Leading the event were Deputy Chief Education Officer Administration Tiffany Harvey and Regional Education Officer for DEMERARA, Mahaika Kian Adams. The project was initiated following requests from parents, teachers, and school administrators who cited overcrowding and structural challenges that made the current facility unsuitable for learning. Once completed, the new school is expected to benefit some 300 pupils from the Buxton Company Road catchment area. The contract for the reconstruction was awarded to R&J Construction through a competitive bidding process in accordance with the National Procurement and Tender Board Administration's Public Procurement Act. Minister of Education Priya Manichan expressed her delight at the development, reaffirming her ministry's commitment to rehabilitating or rebuilding every school in need over the next 5 years. Jada June reported for HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Live the island dream. It's your chance to be one of over 100 winners in the Island Dream promotion. Win your share of more than $1 million in cash and prizes. Plus 2 all-inclusive weekend staycations for 2. And that's not all. Score coolers packed with Buster, Turbo, Altitude, and Viva. Just buy any can or bottle of Turbo, Buster, Altitude, or Viva. Find the code starting with BB. Then visit at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean on IG or Facebook for details. Live the island dream, get money. Live the island dream.
Guyana's agriculture sector is growing stronger than ever. Over the past 4 years, Guyana has made remarkable strides, emerging as the only self-sufficient food-producing country in the world. Revenues earned from the oil and gas sector are being reinvested to improve agriculture, to build better roads, upgrade drainage and irrigation systems, and introducing of modern technology to boost food production. Together, these efforts are creating a stronger, more resilient food system for today and for generations to come.
Mom, did you tell him that Danny went to pick up kids?
No, wait a minute. Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Good evening and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Regional News. The United States is seeking a regime change in its country. With a naval deployment in the Caribbean, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro said on Monday in a rare press conference. Tensions between the United States and Venezuela have risen in recent weeks amid a large U.S. naval buildup in the southern Caribbean and nearby waters, which U.S. officials say aims to address threats from Latin American drug cartels. U.S. President Donald Trump has made cracking down on drug cartels a central goal of his administration, part of a wider effort to limit migration and secure the U.S. southern border. But Maduro, Venezuelan Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello, and other officials have said the U.S. is threatening their country, and the buildup is meant to justify an intervention against them. Quote unquote, they are seeking a regime change through military threat, Maduro told journalists. Jamaica last week recorded 23 murders, representing a spike when compared to recent weeks of single-digit homicides. The 23 murders that were recorded over the period August 23 to 30 bring Jamaica back to the 2024 average weekly murder count. The figures contained in the police's latest serious crime statistics. It shows that Jamaica's murder toll as of August 30th is 459 and represents a 42% decline year on year. A week prior, 14 murders were recorded between August 16 and 22. A week before that, August 9 to 16, Jamaica recorded 7 murders. The spike in murders last week was seemingly impacted by 11 homicides over 2 days between Tuesday and Thursday morning. Overall, crime is down 16%. The decline in murders has been a major talking point during the political campaigns leading up to general election on Wednesday. The Caribbean Development Bank CDB has reached financial close on a facility for the landmark Dominica Geothermal Energy 10 megawatts project. A release from the CDB said that the facility has been made available to the Geothermal Power Company of Dominica, GPC, that was established specifically to implement the project. GPC is a wholly owned subsidiary of Ormat Technologies, Inc., a leading international geothermal developer. This transaction is the first geothermal project in the region to reach this stage with a private sector partner, the release said. Isaac Solomon, CDB Vice President of Operations, said in the release, quote unquote, "This is a pivotal transaction for the bank, for the Commonwealth of Dominica, and for the region. It showcases the potential of blended concessionals finances to mobilize private sector expertise and deliver transformative clean energy solution in small island developing states." Thank you for watching. I am Tiana Cole.
CARICOM urges political parties to wait on a final declaration. Some parties already claiming victory. CARICOM observers warn about voters' list and access issues, but praised GECOM'S new transparency measures. JAGDEO appears concerned at late-night press conference, pivoted, blaming main opposition for poor voter turnout, and PATTERSON bemoans the fact that new DEMERARA River Bridge has missed yet another completion deadline. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm ALETHEA Grant. Thanks for watching.